Brothers and sisters, good evening. Because today is budget day and everyone is busy listening to the man in charge of the finances of this country, I am not doing a live program to take your phone calls. So I just want to say sorry about that and let's get going. Every citizen of this country should and must read Exxon's EIA report they submitted for the fifth project to see the danger and destruction coming our way as Guyanese. More so, the religious leaders, professionals, judges, lawyers, and the elites of Guyana. They must and they should. Tonight, I will expose a few important and frightening things within that document. So sit back, relax, and just hear me. Drink your tablet quickly or don't listen to this program, please. Every Guyanese is standing up in front of firing squad, just waiting for the trigger to be pulled with what's going on in that fifth project. Hear this one. The water we drink will be polluted more. The fishing industry will completely vanish. The heat will be much more than what it is now. Higher floodwaters like you have never seen before on its way. Our wharves, our roads, and transportation services will not be able to handle the workload. More dump sites will be needed to take off the filth. And most importantly, Uncle, the air we breathe will be contaminated. All of this is being told to us in that same EIA, prepared by ExxonMobil for the fifth project Jagdev is about to approve. With the things in there that I saw, only God Almighty can save and help us. Let's get cracking with all of that. When you hear a report is submitted after an in-depth investigation, let's say a crime was committed, like the 2020 elections, that the government now holding an inquiry to find out if any laws were broken and who broke them. When the report is submitted, we will know who did what and who will be charged, if anybody will be charged at all. Now, all who were involved will certainly be worried about their fate, to know whether they will face the courts or walk free, especially if they know in their heart they were involved in skullduggery during the elections period. So that report is key to our eyes and our ears. It is absolutely necessary, Uncle and Auntie, to have serious in-depth investigations on matters that can harm the present and future generations, and find the best way how to fix, correct, or put systems in place that prevents what happened from repeating itself. I use that as an example to show how important a report of an investigation is about something that happened or could happen in the future to us and Guyana. Now, let's get down to our business tonight. ExxonMobil is required by law to carry out an in-depth investigation, study, and analysis on the impact of all the past, present, and future oil projects, and submit a report to Guyana outlining the good, bad, ugly, and indifferent on every one of these projects out there. They did it with Liza 1, 2, 3, 4, and just completed the study for its 5th project, in which the report was handed to Guyana last week. Based on the findings of that report, Guyana will see and decide if the 5th project will be healthy, beneficial, or destructive to Guyana and its people. That study, Uncle and Auntie, is called an EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. Those 3 words simply means the dangers we are heading into and the damages that would and could be done to this country and its people with this 5th project. That study, like I said, is required by law, and they can't mislead or give us wrong information. They have to be factual, because there can be serious consequences for them if they try to hoodwink or mislead us. In short, Uncle, they have to tell Guyana the whole truth about how destructive these projects will be to Guyana and all of us. The EIA has to tell us in detail what to expect from the 5th project. Uncle, EIAs for Liza 1, 2, 3, and 4 were done and submitted to Guyana. That's how the Kaieteur News was able to report for the first time the fishing industry will be affected and soon to be totally gone in a couple more mornings. We also reported the flaring from Liza 1 and 2 will bring on more heat. The rise of the sea level, water, will be much, much more, including the pollution, yes, the pollution of our waters. Now, just for you to know and keep in mind, every other project increases the damages and troubles for Guyana. And you and I know more trouble, more danger calls for more money, dinero. Have Guyana gotten any increase on those 4 projects? Absolutely no. Have you seen anything coming your way other than troubles and dangers? That's a very big question you should all keep in mind as we go along with tonight's program. Keep it in mind. Last week, ExxonMobil handed me a new EIA report for the 5th project. It is 3,178 pages. It will take me 100 years to read, digest, and understand everything in it. This document or report, Uncle, whatever you want to call it, every lawyer, like I said, judges, geologists, scientists, environmentalists, accountant, politicians, and the elites of this country that really love Guyana should make it their duty to read it. Yes, read this report. Vice President Jagdeo collected the Payara report today, and tomorrow he approved the project. Let me repeat so you understand what I said there. Vice President Jagdeo collected the Payara report, the 3rd project report, today, and tomorrow he approved the project. The same thing he did with the 4th project, Yellowtail. collect the report, and just sign away the project to ExxonMobil. He had promised to approve this fifth project before December 31st, 2022. Well, the EIA report only come out last week. And for all you know, he must be done sign it over and waiting for the right opening to announce he approve it. That's all you keep hearing from Jagdeo's mouth. Approve, 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 without reading or digesting the information in these EIA reports. That is very, very scary and should be frightening to every living Guyanese, whether they live here or come here to visit. The information in this fifth EIA report, Uncle, I honestly feel every unborn children should be worried if they can hear me tonight. That's how dangerous it is. The Kaieteur News have been reporting ever since on these EIA findings, but I believe 90% of you people didn't see or read them. So tonight, guys, I want to explain a story we carried last Friday that came out of the report on this fifth oil project that is very detrimental to every Guyanese in so many ways. Here we go with it. The headline says, the speed in which Guyana going with these oil projects, the donkey dam leaders we have, and outdated laws will sink Guyana's shipping and transportation industry. First, it was the fishing industry. Polluted waters, flaring, heat, and so on. Now, in this fifth report, they are telling us that the transportation and shipping industry will be drowned in the Atlantic Ocean. What that means? Other than outdated laws and bad management by the government, Guyana will not be able to handle the shipping and transportation services for this fifth project. Now, that is only one piece of the many more destructive and damaging information that didn't came from any oil exports or international bodies, Uncle. It came straight from the mouth of ExxonMobil themselves in that report they submitted to Guyana last week. Let me say this. You don't get rape and rob on the oil deal. And if the Guyanese people cannot provide the shipping and transportation services to make a little money on these projects, the only thing, Uncle, we depend on to make up for the oil robbery, then who will? If we can't supply, then who will? Exxon them will have to turn to Trinidad or the US. And those countries will be making the money. So what's left for us? Yes, you want to hear? We will be fetching water, shine shoes, wash cars, and do prostitution in the streets. Yes. So then, why Jagdeo, knowing all of this, rushing to approve this fifth project? When Exxon is saying in writing to all of us that we cannot handle the supply chain, we cannot handle the business as yet. Why Jagdeo approving it? To further fatten foreigners' bank accounts? while our people starving? You answer that question, guys. Or he will hold on to that approval and let the Guyanese people get their acts together and prepare themselves, then approve it so that we can make some money rather than the foreign countries. You know, guys, you may want to ask why Exxon is telling Guyana all of this and exposing this government in this fashion. I will answer that question just now. It's the most important and disgusting answer you will ever hear on these radio programs since I started 2 years now. So before I get to that, let's stay a little more on the money Guyana will lose out by not being able to provide those services and show you guys how Guyana will lose out billions upon billions by allowing Exxon to use Trinidad and even the US to pick up those slack. Auntie, the price to supply the oil operation from Trinidad and the US will be double or triple as to what they pay here in Guyana. And who's paying for that? Yes. Our oil money will be filling the foreigners' bank accounts, shortening our profit share, making us poorer. All that can be avoided with a stroke of a pen from Jagdeo's hand. Don't approve this project until we fix and put things in place. Put people, find the right skills, technology, systems, laws, rules, regulations, and institutions so that Guyana can get its rightful share of our oil. Who can't understand that, man? Which donkey doesn't understand something as simple as that? Which leader doesn't know that if you don't have these things in place, you will be raped, sodomized, shafted, and robbed? Man, a fool knows that he has to ensure that his children get the best out of their gold fields, mango fields, or oil fields. A fool knows that. But I am willing to bet my last dollar, everything I own, Uncle and Auntie, Vice President Jagdeo will approve this fifth project without even reading this EIA report or put anything in place. And y'all will run and throw mala with sweet-smelling flowers around his neck. This man who's selling out your presence, yes, your present, plus your future, is being welcomed by some as best friends. Man, when I think about these things, I can only say what a Guyana we live in. Another part in that same Friday story made me so angry. I wanted to text Jagdeo and some of these politicians and just tell them off. Yes, tell them off some nice things. Apart from Guyanese losing the supply chain, Uncle and Auntie, the boat and truck services, Exxon report says Guyana has to dredge and constantly, you hear that? Dredge and constantly dredge the Demerara River so that the oil ships and boats can move. Yes, can move through the waterways without hindrance. So they're not only huffing out the little money we should be getting from the supply services, but sending Guyana to foreign banks to borrow loans, to dredge the Demerara River for them to operate efficiently. You gotta love Exxon like I do. Huh? We can't afford to dredge the Pomeroon and many other rivers so badly needs dredging, or clean the waterways the Guyanese people have to use for their daily lives. But we must take the tax dollars or borrow loans for dredge river, the Demerara River, for them to move efficiently. Nice going, eh? When them taken away from you, they're making you spend what your grandmother and you don't have. This is what oil companies did to many African and Asian countries. Leave the country and the entire population worse off than they were before, with the help of their stupid, greedy or corrupt leaders. Uncle, here is a quick example. We couldn't find $2 million for buy COVID medicines. We had to go and take a loan. But President Ali and Vice President Jagdeo find $4 million, double that amount, to remove the couple ships that sink at the mouth of the Demerara River for ExxonMobil. Y'all for real in this country? Much more to come on that report. Don't sleep away on me, man. Catch a breath. Drink some tea or some water like me. I can wait for you a little. If it costs $4 million to clear out 3 little ships that had sink at the mouth of the Demerara River, how much hundreds of millions of US it will cost to dredge the Demerara River alone for ExxonMobil use? Just think about it and tell me. It's food for thought I'm giving you guys. Now let me give you guys the main course. Yes, the meat or the milk of tonight's program. You got to listen to me carefully. ExxonMobil say this 5th oil project will affect the air we breathe. Will affect the air we breathe. Man, what can be more frightening than that? The air you breathe, which affects your entire body, your state of mind, your energy level, and most importantly, your health will be affected with this 5th project. You guys hearing me? The once fresh and clean air we breathe for centuries, uncle, and have been boasting about coming from that beautiful, untarnished, unapproved, or unprovoked Atlantic Ocean will now be contaminating our lungs and our body with diseases we never hear about or experience before. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Is what you think will become of our health. We ain't got proper qualified doctors to deal or handle the most common sickness in this country, man. How are we to handle the complicated sicknesses that will come from this new or this now contaminated air? This poison air. Can somebody call a medical doctor? I need one here, because I am not one. Get one for me, please. Uncle and auntie. We are not only talking about allergies and asthma here. We are looking at more chronic, severe and deadly diseases on our doorsteps, heading into our bedrooms to sleep and live with for the remainder of our lives. That's what the EIA for the 5th oil project is clearly pointing out to all of us. None of us needs to be a doctor or study medicine to understand when the air we breathe, the water we drink, the environment in which we live is contaminated with poisonous substance coming out from this 5th project. What kind of life are we looking at? We don't need a doctor to tell us that. Oh, you know what will happen to your children, grandchildren, and dear grandchildren? This is not only about us. This has dire consequences for future generations. You guys ever see a neighbor or a stranger struggling to breathe, coughing their guts out? Well, what would be coming out of the 5th project, if approved, will be much worse. And please don't get mixed up or confused, Uncle. I am not talking about money. Nothing coming there. I am talking about our health, our quality of life that lies ahead of us. Yes, that lies ahead of us. You're done not getting nothing out of these new oil projects. Nothing. Jagdev approving them one after the other. Like if this oil belonged to he, his family, his party, or his government alone. Yes, so that he can do whatever he wants with it. We don't have equipment and machinery in the public hospitals, such as working X-ray machines, CT scanners, and MRI machines to determine whether your neck broke, your heart got an issue, or your head messed up. Wow. Oh, you know, got nothing in the hospitals, Uncle, to help you right now with the little known diseases we have to live with. And if they do have, man, you should hear the price you have to pay for get the services. Now, you gonna tell me we don't ain't getting nothing from the oil, and this 5th project that is coming will bring on more sickness. Sickness that we never see or ever hear about, man. Eh? Guyanese, brothers and sisters, you people are awake? Y'all really listening what I'm telling you people here? Half of this population can't find passage money right now as I speak to take themselves or carry their children to public hospitals if they're sick. One of them came to meet me the other day. He wanted help with a surgery for his kid. And after the discussion and advice I gave him, he turned around and said, Mr. Lall, please give me $100 to go back home. That's where our citizens of this country are. And President Ali, Vice President Jagdev, Abri Norton and Kemad Ramjat and them approving more and more projects without even reading these dreadful documents called the EIA reports. And I say that, Uncle, because had they read them, this should have been at the top, the forefront, the leading, the number one concern, their biggest worries every day. But what is their concerns? You want to hear? When they go out here and meet people here and there, their concerns is who to get house lots, and who should be moved, and who should be paid for their land for a road to be built. Who refuse to shake hands? Who telling lies? Who getting $10 contracts? Just listen to their press conferences. Listen where they go and what they're talking about. They go to different neighborhoods. Yes. See what they focus on. Nothing of substance, but preaching. But preaching hate for one another. Hostility and division. While Exxon is endangering the whole country and all of us. Guys, this information is not ordinary run-of-the-mill stuff. This is serious trouble we are heading into. It will impact and damage every citizen of this country. You guys see why I say earlier, all of us are standing in front of the firing squad, waiting for the trigger to be pulled. What more danger y'all want to hear, see, or know about? Huh? These are the leaders, the same people, all of them, PPP, PNC, and AFC. Are you staining your fingers for? Yes. Making all of you into sitting ducks waiting to be slaughtered one by one. When I read that story, my entire Sunday changed. My whole body still tense presently, knowing that the opposition will represent nothing, say nothing or do nothing when Vice President Jagdev approved this fifth project. This is the dilemma Guyana finds itself in. This is the disaster, tragedy, and calamity that Guyana is heading into. Auntie, just discussing these issues day after day in the newsroom at the Kaieteur News with my staff, before these stories are being published in the newspapers, makes some of us want to throw up in the newsroom. And when I have to come, sit here, and share even more of the horrors that are behind those news stories, I can't begin to tell y'all how I feel when the day and night comes. It's a good thing my Creator walks with me everywhere I go. Yes, and He's there with me in everything I do. If not, let me leave it there. I swear, Uncle, man, let me don't tell you guys this. I just can't. I just can't face some of these politicians in this country. I can't. You really don't know what I think and what goes through my mind about some of these people. So let me keep it to myself. Now, yes. Now let me answer the question about why ExxonMobil, who's raping us, robbing us, cheating, tricking and lying to us on so many different platforms, would tell Guyana all this bad, horrible, terrible, negative and destructive information. And why would they put all this dangerous information on paper and give it to us? Oh, you want to hear the answer? You guys have a clue? You guys have a clue why I would take it upon myself to tell you, your family, your friends, and your neighbors that the project I am going to do will endanger your livelihood and lives? Why would I do that? Huh? Let me tell you guys why. Apart from the law that requires them to conduct this study, Uncle, the main reason they have to document, yes, document and report everything to us is to protect themselves. Yes, to protect themselves. This is why the report so comprehensive and has 3,178 pages. More than the pages in the Bible, Bhagavad Gita and Quran put together. And they make sure, yes, and they make sure they may left out nothing. They give you the fullest disclosure, the most complete report that one can think of. That report, I am told, is more detailed than the Constitution of Guyana, guys. Yes. How clear everything is spelled out for every one of us to see. Again, I ask this question. Why would ExxonMobil detail every ugliness that can possibly happen and give it to us? Now here, a little more of the answer to that. Exxon went to this great length to make sure everything is before our eyes on the table, Uncle, so to protect themselves and themselves only. Let me repeat this thing. Exxon show Guyana, Exxon tell Guyana in writing, in 3,178 pages, everything that will go wrong, everything that can go wrong, to totally protect itself from any lawsuits, any liability, any ownership of any problem that arises in this country. You hear me? They are sleeping with that document under their pillows to present in any court of this universe, that they disclosed and told Guyana about every danger, along with every possible danger the country and its citizens are exposed to and could be exposed to. For example, Uncle, the fishermen catch is reduced to almost nothing presently. Can they take Exxon to court and get compensation? Hell no. Because Exxon began telling us 6 years now in Lisa 1 EIA report that the entire fishing industry will be affected. Can any citizen take Exxon to court to pay any hospital bills due to them contracting diseases from the drinking water? Again, absolutely no. They have been telling all of us in every EIA report what to expect. Yes, they told us the water will be polluted. Can any Guyanese take them to court inhaling the poisonous air that is coming from those projects? Absolutely no, uncle. They didn't tell Guyana that in the first 4 EIAs. But they make sure they tell us in this one, in this 5th EIA. Maybe, uncle, just maybe, had they bring that out in the first couple projects, it would have wake up the eyes of the politicians since then. But they tell us in the 5th, yes, in the 5th. That's why Kaieteur News reported it so big and bold in Sunday's Kaieteur News. Can you win ExxonMobil? Even if you do carry them to court for any sickness? Huh? How you winning that, uncle? The people have it in the EIA to expect all these things. You're going to be breathing poison soon. The air will be contaminated. The 5th oil project and those oil projects, yes, will further affect the air we breathe. You see how these people safeguarding and protecting themselves, auntie? Yes, they're safeguarding and protecting their companies and their wealth. They're robbing you, endangering you, and locking you down with the information in the EIA that you have nowhere to turn, uncle, nowhere to run. Then prepare that EIA report and ready to throw it in any judge's face. Yes. You see, Judge? All them sickness the Guyanese people suffering, the poverty they're going through was caused during and by the oil operations, yes. But we pointed out all these things in the EIA to every Guyanese what to expect down the road with these oil projects. How they bring we to court for this now? We don't have nothing to do with that. We did tell them long before to expect dangers and expect to get sick. Yes. Your Honor, look, it's in your hands. And we give it to the President of Guyana, the Vice President of Guyana, the Ministers of Government, the EPA head, the opposition and every Guyanese. Because our EIA report, yes, is in the public domain too. So, Your Honor, we did what the law requires. Here is the evidence. We did not force or corrupt the government to approve any of these projects. We didn't even give them a bribe, Your Honor. They knew all the dangers and discomfort that lies ahead and approved those projects. So why bring court cases against us? Come on, Your Honor. Throw it out. And there you go, Guyana. You live with what they give you? Yes. Take what you get. The whole Africa and Asia, the people are suffering from one disease after another. How it happened and who caused it? The leaders with their selfish and greedy, yes, corrupt nature created those conditions for their citizens by allowing the oil companies and foreigners to steal everything and destroy the country. Look around. Go on social media and see how people can't get a clean glass of drinking water anywhere. It's pure filth they're living in. Yes, all over Africa and Asia, man. I've been there. Who's looking out for them today? Yes, the oil companies. Yes, the foreigners them done rape, sodomize and rob them and disappear. They pack up their bags. Yes, their boats and plane loads and gone with it, living like kings and queens while they have the nations suffering. Go and see it, man. Somalia, Congo, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana, Mozambique, Zimbabwe. You name them. Hundreds of millions of people living in misery from one sickness to the next. That's where these leaders are taking this country and all of you without any compensation whatsoever or protection whatsoever. Exxon told them first in Lisa 1, yes, in the Lisa 1 EIA, the fishing industry will crumble. The flaring will bring on more heat. The sea levels will rise. Yes, the flood waters. You guys have been seeing it for the last 2 or 3 years. I don't have to tell you that you're seeing it. And you will see it more. The waters. Yes. The drinking water will be polluted. The garbage will be dumped overboard. And in our dump sites, yes, the deadly chemicals will be treated on our land and disposed of, yes, right here on our land. And they repeated the same things, Uncle, in the EIA reports of Lisa 2, 3, and 4. Now they are not only repeating the same things in Lisa 5, but they are adding more danger to the country with more pollution to the water. Yes, the water that you will be consuming, your children will have to drink. Yes. The people went so far to tell us that the same EIA that Guyana got to find billions to treat the water. Yes, they go so far to tell us that Guyana will have to find more billions to treat the water we have presently. Much less when the deadly chemicals will infiltrate the waters we have. Man, what do you think will become of Guyana? More billions Guyana will have to find to treat the water to give me and you. Yes, to give me and you to drink. Not a clean one, but a so-so. water. They talked about the amount of waste disposal that will be coming from this fifth project. Man, I was shocked myself. The people say every 6 to 7 years, Guyana will need to have a new dump site to dispose or bury their filth. Yes. You guys know, by the way, how much one of these dump sites will cost Guyana? Nothing less than 20, 30, 40 million US dollars. All these things and much more are documented in the EIA that they handed Guyana last week. You see why I tell you people that it is important for youth people, for everyone to read it? If you can't read it, please read the Kaieteur News. Please read the Kaieteur News. I have instructed my reporters to flesh it out so that all of you can read and understand. And I will be speaking more on it on subsequent programs. Yes. This is your life and the lives of your children. Yes, your children to come. That is being threatened in different ways, uncle. All horrible and destructive. Please, I am begging you guys, take off the blindfolds over your eyes and remove the duct tape from your mouths. Say something. Do something. I deliberately didn't want to tell you guys this, but I will. ExxonMobil done moving to get approval for the 6th project. Not the 5th, the 6th project. Yes. And Jagdev still ain't finished auditing the bills. Listen to this. Auditing the bills for the first 2 projects, Liza 1 and 2. 3 and 4. 5 is waiting to be approved. Now Exxon sent in an application to EPA. Yes. To have the 6th project. Yeah, man. Another EIA report has to be prepared by ExxonMobil for that one too. Man, the destruction and damage Guyana will suffer. I say this tonight, and I mean it from my heart. Only my Creator knows the answer to that. Yes. With that, I say no more. Namaste. Have a great evening. And sorry, I can't take your phone calls. But I'll see you guys Wednesday.